news leader. Memphis rapper GloRilla is arrested in Georgia just days before she's set to perform at her Glow Bash at FedEx Forum.
Show will go on. Rapper GloRilla will host a concert in Tennessee tomorrow after being arrested in Forsyth.
It started with gunfire, a burglary in progress, 1:30 in the morning, and 3 masked intruders slipping through the shadows into a home they had no business being inside. The homeowner, nowhere near Georgia. GloRilla was on stage in Indianapolis performing halftime at the WNBA All-Star Game, delivering bars, while back home, chaos was erupting behind her locked doors. An occupant inside the house, believed to be a family member, fired shots at the trespassers. No one was hit. The robbers fled into the night, and what should have been an open and shut case of self-defense and home invasion turned into something far more twisted.
I wonder, did they have probable cause to go in her closet?
Well, they probably went to see what was stolen, and when they went to see what stolen, found the but, you know, GloRilla is really sad. Those people robbed her house, stole her jewelry, and left that. That's messed up.
Yeah, and now.
Because here's the thing, when law enforcement arrived to investigate the break-in, their focus didn't zero in on the missing jewelry, the broken entry points, or the shaken family inside. No, instead, they claimed to have detected a scent. That was enough to call in the regional substances unit, flip the scene from burglary response to a full-blown search warrant, and next thing you know, they're pulling sealed evidence bags from GloRilla's bedroom closet. Not weapons, not stolen items, no proof of a plot to fake a break-in, just a stash of greenery and a Schedule I substance, tucked away in her private space while she was hundreds of miles away on stage. And for that, GloRilla became the only person arrested in the entire ordeal. Let's pause there. A woman's home is attacked, her family is forced to defend themselves with a weapon, the suspects escape and vanish, no arrests are made. But somehow, the only name dragged through county booking records is the homeowner's. The same homeowner who wasn't even present. She turns herself in voluntarily, drops over $22,000 in bond money, and walks out of jail to headlines making her look like a kingpin. Not a victim, not a performer, not a rising star just trying to survive another sleepless tour week, but a criminal, boxed in by the same system she's been calling out for years.
Released, and at the time when this story broke, the details of the arrest were not clear. So then GloRilla's attorney, Drew Finland, released a statement. So he sent the statement to us, and he says, the arrest of Gloria Woods is a disturbing window into how warped law enforcement priorities have become. Ms. Woods was out of town when her residence became a target for a group of home invaders.
And GloRilla didn't bite her tongue. Just days after her arrest, she went public with her frustration, firing off posts that lit up every social feed. Long story short, she wrote, my house gets home invaded and I'm the only one that gets arrested. So that's tea? If there was any doubt that her tone was unapologetic, she sealed it by slapping her mugshot on t-shirts and selling them at her Glow Bash concert. That's not just defiance, it's branding your trauma before the system can do it for you. It's flipping the script.
Now, GloRilla was released the same day on a $22,260 bond. And again, she is expected to perform tomorrow night at her Glow Bash at FedEx Forum. Now, she tweeted about her arrest and she said, long story short, my house gets invaded and I'm the only one that gets arrested. Now, GloRilla's attorney says that there have not been any arrest warrants in touch with that home invasion. And she went on to say that GloRilla is a victim, not a suspect.
But behind the memes and merch, something more serious is bubbling. The question buzzing across timelines and comment sections, why her, why now? Some fans are pointing fingers beyond the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, whispering about a long-suspected vendetta. Because this isn't Glow's first entanglement with Georgia law enforcement. A DUI charge last year already had critics wondering if she was on someone's list. And then there's the inconvenient truth that GloRilla has never played nice with authority. She's called out police corruption on stage and off. She's posted cryptic comments about industry surveillance. One former label exec, speaking anonymously, of course, says she was warned by a certain Southern PR agency to stay low after her last legal scuffle or risk career turbulence. And here we are. We're not saying there's an actual blacklist, but we're definitely not saying there isn't one. The optics speak volumes. A 26-year-old black woman, chart-topping, Grammy-nominated, just hosted her own Glow Bash in her hometown. She's collaborating with Tyler the Creator. She's being seen with NBA players. She's celebrating birthdays in Mexico and joking about being 30 when she's not. That kind of confidence, that kind of reach, it doesn't sit well with everybody in power, especially when that power wears a badge.
And they sent me a statement, and in the statement, they say that the reason why they were able to arrest her was because the they found was in a closet in the master bedroom, and the master bedroom belongs to GloRilla. So that is why they went forward and issued the arrest warrant for her. Now, at the end of their statement, they do say this. They are the police down there say the homeowner is a victim of a serious crime, and we are committed to bringing the suspect to justice. This was a statement from the sheriff.
And then there's the twist no one saw coming. What if the burglary itself wasn't random? What if this wasn't just a home invasion, but a setup? That's the rumor slipping through certain DM threads and podcast sidebars right now. Word is, one of Glo's lesser-known rivals, someone she allegedly clashed with last festival season, had been hinting online about her being out the way that weekend. A few sharp-eyed fans noticed that just hours before the break-in, this same rapper posted a story with a song called Vacancy, playing over footage of a suburban street at night. The timestamp? Eerily close to the burglary timeline. Coincidence? Maybe. But if it was just a flex, it's one hell of a risky one. And if it wasn't, well, it opens a whole different kind of door, because we've seen this playbook before. Take out the target without lifting a finger. Leak their location, wait for them to leave town, send someone to do the dirty work, and then sit back and let the law do the damage. It's elegant, it's devastating, and in the age of anonymous tips and burner accounts, it's damn near untraceable. If this really was industry sabotage, it means someone didn't just want to rob GloRilla. They wanted her publicly discredited, and they got what they wanted.
When her family members did the right thing, they called the law enforcement, called police. Instead of investigating a violent home invasion and theft of Miss Woods, they instead sought a search warrant when they spotted what they believed was a small amount of marijuana. Law enforcement then sought an arrest warrant for her, even though she hadn't been home for some time. No arrest warrants have been issued for the violent home invaders. Mrs. Woods is a victim, not a suspect.
Even now, no suspects have been arrested in connection to the break-in. Not one. Meanwhile, the sheriff's office has issued statement after statement promising to bring the suspects to justice while simultaneously defending the decision to prosecute the woman whose home was attacked. According to her lawyers, the burglars made off with high-value jewelry and left her relatives traumatized. But what dominates the coverage? Not the theft, not the trauma, just a closet full of contraband and a mugshot plastered across tabloid thumbnails. And Glo isn't exactly going underground. After all of this, she's been spotted vacationing in style, dancing with what insiders say might be her new flame, NBA star Brandon Ingram, while previewing a track where she repeats, "I know I'm special," trolling her fans by pretending she just turned 30, posting thirst trap birthday photos like nothing ever happened. But that's the thing with power plays. They don't work if you flinch. And GloRilla, she's not flinching. She's leaning in. Still, there's a tension in the air. A feeling that this story's nowhere near over. Her legal team is demanding answers. Her fans are calling for accountability. And her critics? Well, they're starting to wonder just how deep the hole really goes.
Organizers tell WREG that the show will go on. Today, the FedEx Forum tweeted a ticket link for the Glo Bash, and they tweeted that out for people to buy more tickets. They said the tickets are still on sale, and that will happen tomorrow night at the FedEx Forum. Now, as fans prepare for the event, GloRilla, her attorney, and the community are reacting to her arrest in Georgia.
And just when most artists would be retreating behind their lawyers, shaking in their boots at the idea of public backlash, GloRilla flipped the narrative into cold hard merchandise. Her mugshot, braids, perfect, lashes flawless, chin high, is now plastered across black t-shirts selling for $40 a pop. She handed them out at her Glo Bash, she listed them on her site, she turned what was supposed to be a stain on her image into a limited edition drop. It's not just bold, it's calculated resistance. A message to anyone watching that she won't be shamed into silence, especially not by a charge that looks suspiciously selective. But here's the catch, not everyone's cheering. While fans snatch up the tees like tour merch, critics are accusing her of glamorizing the criminal justice system, of trivializing the real struggles by cashing in on the spectacle of arrest. Is it empowerment or opportunism? The lines blur quickly when a felony charge becomes a fashion statement. Some voices in the industry are already warning this could become a branding curse if she ends up convicted. But if Glo's betting on anything, it's that the truth, or at least the receipts, will vindicate her long before a courtroom does.
Well, pray for GloRilla, because nobody should have to hide in their family. Okay, in my house, I should be able to leave my pack anywhere in my goddamn crib. I gotta put my in my master bedroom, in my closet, just to make sure y'all don't smoke up all my. But what if it wasn't her?
And yet, the most insulting detail of this entire circus isn't even the arrest. It's the silence. The lack of suspects. The way law enforcement continues to insist they're investigating the burglary while producing exactly 0 names, 0 charges, and 0 leads that the public can see. The sheriff's office claims they've recovered physical and trace forensic evidence believed to belong to the suspects. Great. Where's the rest of it? The footage, the witness sketches, the arrests. This happened in July, not 1995. We're living in the age of smart doorbells and geofence surveillance, so why are we still hearing crickets? Some former officers we've spoken to off record say it makes no sense. If the house was swarming with law enforcement, if a firearm was discharged, and if forensic evidence was truly collected, there should be something, anything. But the file is still sealed, the burglar still unnamed, and the only person who's been inside a jail cell is the woman whose home got ransacked. Either this is the most under-resourced investigation in the metro Atlanta area, or it's something darker. A quiet decision not to pursue the real threat because the real threat doesn't wear chains or press charges.
Yeah, this makes no sense to me because are you responsible for what's in your house? If you're not home, you had guests there, you had somebody break in. The people that broke in could have dropped that. I don't know. I'm just saying, are you just responsible because she's the homeowner? Like,
well, yeah, she is the homeowner, but the problem is this was a small amount of This wasn't 10 pounds. This wasn't 20 pounds. It was an ounce, almost an ounce of and she wasn't home. And let's get to the root of the thing. Somebody invaded her property, went in her crib, robbed her property, stole her.
And let's not pretend this is some isolated case. We've seen this script too many times. High-profile black talent caught in the legal crosshairs while actual perpetrators vanish into smoke. Look at the framing. A performer who wasn't even home becomes the focal point of a criminal probe. They went to her house to investigate a burglary and ended up charging her with possession instead. From a legal standpoint, yes, what they found might be technically chargeable, but from a moral and tactical standpoint, it's outrageous. When a law enforcement agency responds to violence with a search warrant instead of a security sweep, we're not dealing with justice. We're dealing with agenda. We have to ask, who gains from this? Who benefits when GloRilla's name gets dragged through legal mud right as she's entering her commercial peak? One entertainment attorney told us bluntly, every time one of our girls levels up, someone tries to bring her back down. Whether it's lawsuits, leaked tapes, NDA violations, or convenient charges, there's a pattern, and we're seeing it in real time. GloRilla's not the first, and if this pattern keeps playing out, she won't be the last. That's the part the labels won't say out loud, but the streets already know.
And we did reach out to the district attorney's office for comment on the investigation and the charges, but we have yet to hear back.
And what does this mean for other outspoken artists? Those who tweet too freely, who speak up at the wrong protest, who go on live streams calling out city contracts and shady execs? If what happened to GloRilla sets a precedent, then no stage is big enough to protect you. Not the BET Awards, not Coachella, not even a halftime performance at a nationally broadcast WNBA game. Because you can be in the middle of celebrating your career, living your moment, and still come home to cups. And, meanwhile, Glo's out here navigating chaos like a veteran chess player. She's still posting, still teasing new tracks, still showing up with her rumored NBA romance in tow. She dropped a song snippet repeating, "I know I'm special," while twerking at a resort, unfazed and unbothered. But let's not forget, beneath the glamour and clapbacks, there's still an ongoing case, a media storm, and a system that clearly has its priorities upside down.
If it was anybody else, if it was another Jane Doe, just because it's GloRilla, they make a big deal out of it. If it was Lakeisha down the street, it would have been nothing.
Fame has a price, and no matter how fiercely someone wears the crown, the weight still cuts. Behind GloRilla's public defiance, the curated social posts, the polished performances, the playful trolling, there's a young woman navigating one of the most intense spotlight moments of her life. The system isn't just coming for her image or her business, it's digging into her identity. To be thrust into legal turmoil, to have your private space violated, and to watch your name spiral through headlines as a cautionary tale, that changes a person, especially when the world expects you to laugh through it all while selling out arenas. There's a specific exhaustion that comes with being both the symbol and the scapegoat. For Black women in the industry, the stakes are doubled. GloRilla didn't just break into rap. She did it on her own terms, loud and fearless, with Memphis flavor and zero apology. But the industry doesn't always reward authenticity. It scrutinizes it, weaponizes it, and when that scrutiny leads to felony charges and social media trials, we have to wonder what it's doing to her off-camera. Because even the strongest personas need room to breathe, and lately it feels like Glo hasn't been granted that space.
So GloRilla was arrested in Georgia on felony charges and was booked Tuesday in Forsyth County, Georgia. I believe I'm saying that correct. The charges were possession of a scheduled controlled substance and possession of over 1 ounce. And under the Georgia law, these are felony charges.
And let's not forget the isolation fame brings. The more success she earns, the smaller her inner circle becomes. Not because she's cutting people off, but because trust turns fragile when every DM could leak and every friend could flip. Add in legal pressure, label politics, public perception, and what's left is a 26-year-old surrounded by noise, but possibly feeling more alone than ever. She may be vacationing in Mexico, but that doesn't mean her mind's resting. That kind of stress seeps into the bones, no matter how beautiful the resort is. What we're seeing is survival under pressure, and it's important to acknowledge that surviving doesn't mean thriving. The fans see the posts, the merch, the witty captions, but they don't see the missed calls from lawyers, the silent dinners, the emotional toll of knowing that even when you're the victim, the world might still paint you as the problem. GloRilla has become a living paradox, celebrated and condemned in the same breath. That duality doesn't just make headlines, it scars.
I think that's the absolutely most craziest thing I've ever heard, because she wasn't there first and foremost. Second of all, we don't necessarily know what happened in that situation. The robbers could have left it there. Anything could have happened.
And maybe that's why this story matters more than people think. It's not just about unfair charges or mysterious burglars. It's about resilience in a world that demands performance but offers little protection. It's about a woman who built her platform from scratch, only to be reminded how quickly it can be weaponized against her. And no matter how loud the music gets, no matter how bright the stage lights shine, there's still a real person standing there bearing it all. The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office insists they're committed to finding the suspects. But let's call it what it looks like, performative justice. They've said all the right lines about victims and fairness and enforcing the law, but when the headlines scream louder than the handcuffs click, that's not an investigation, that's theater. And right now, GloRilla's been forced to be both the cast and the audience.
X calling it crazy, and according to the FedEx Forum officials in Memphis, Tennessee, GloRilla's concert will still go on as scheduled. It's happening only a few days after her arrest right back here in Georgia.
So we have to ask, was this ever really about a controlled substance? Or was it about sending a message? About who's allowed to rise without permission? About who gets to be loud, powerful, and unfiltered without being punished? Because when the law starts searching closets instead of chasing intruders, we're no longer talking about justice. We're talking about control. And if that's the real agenda behind GloRilla's arrest, then this isn't just a scandal, it's a warning. To artists, to women, to anyone who dares to own their narrative. So what do you think? Was Glo targeted, or just caught in the system's blind spot? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't hold back. Until next time, stay bold, stay nosy, and don't believe everything the badge tells you.